Hello, all you Coruscant Nights with a K. I hope you enjoy this, the third and final part of the Mannis and Sull trilogy. I just wanted to take a minute and remind everyone about the Catacon Kickstarter that went live yesterday. Without any further ado, here's Chris.
Hey, thanks for having me on. My name is Chris Burlew. I am the Game Master of the Redemption podcast. We're a Star Wars actual play. I'm also lucky enough to be a player on Tales of Blood and Stone, which is a Shadow of the Demon Lord actual play, which both of those shows are proud members of the RPG Academy network. And before we jump into the game, I'd love to take just a minute and talk about a Catacon. Catacon is the RPG Academy's premier tabletop gaming convention, and it's returning to the Dayton Convention Center November 8th through the 10th. Catacon is my favorite convention. It's not focused just on playing the big, well-named RPGs and board games, but it's a convention for learning new games, learning new things, discovering new friends. I personally run a lot of games there, and I know there are a ton of amazing games that are offered there. Cypher System will be there, a bunch of Powered by the Apocalypse, Dread, Wushu, obviously Shadow of the Demon Lord. I run Star Wars when I'm there. Plus, this year, Catacon's also going to have Contessa running games and a Games on Demand program. But the Catacon's not just for role-playing. We also have an ever-expanding board game library, and that'll be available once again, and it's free to use for anybody that has a badge. There's also going to be game demos by RPG and board game designers. They're there just to teach you the game and get some feedback from it. There's a ton to do at a Catacon. We also do some live podcast recordings. We do seminars on various topics. There's tons of different types of live shows. I know last year and the year before Redemption, we did a live panel. Last year, we took the crew, threw them onto like a Star Wars version of Jerry Springer and got the audience involved. It was a ton of fun. In my opinion, a Catacon punches well above its weight when it comes to the guests, and due to its size, you get to spend a whole lot more time with the guests. We have a ton of amazing guests that are coming in. I know I've got to meet Rich Baker, got to play Geek Wars with him. He's an amazing guy. I'm excited because Rob Schwab's going to be there this year, the guy who wrote Shadow of the Demon Lord. Hoping to actually sit down and play some games with him. The Kickstarter for Catacon, it's going to go live March 21st, and it will run until April 20th. The Kickstarter allows the RPG Academy to ensure that we have the funds to cover the upfront costs, like the deposit on the venue, bringing in the special guests. If you purchase badges through the Kickstarter, it helps us guarantee a great convention and your chance to score a discounted rate. Get through the Kickstarter, get a little bit cheaper. Also, through the Kickstarter, we do have GM badges. Also, this is a big one. On the Kickstarter, we have a limited number of VIP badges. Those are amazing because that's your chance to come hang out at the VIP party. Plus, you get invited to the faculty retreat the next year, which is kind of a smaller version of a Catacon. We also have some demo badges. All the information for that is on the website, acatacon.com. So get ready for the Kickstarter on March 21st. Please help us make Catacon the number one convention that everybody wants to be at.
Secrets hide like Lothcats in search of prey. Using the darkness to their advantage, they remain unseen. But what's the fun in a secret if you don't have anyone to share it with? Welcome to Coruscant Nights. That door opens. But it wasn't you that opened it. The door slides open, and a ring of blue shoots out from it. And since Mannis is in front of it opening the door, you are hit by a stun bolt.
Okay.
5 stun damage.
So as soon as that hits, Mannis jumps behind Saul. I think they were ready for us.
Sull sees a young Gungan standing there, hands shaking, 2 hands on a blaster pistol, a little holdout blaster. You stay away from me.
We come in peace.
I doubt it. Big guy's got his gun out.
Saul holsters his gun in his kind of chest holster and puts his hands up.
All 4 of them.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to talk him down.
All right, kid. Just put it down. We're just here for some answers. That's all we want.
I'm the one that should be asking for answers. Who are you?
I'm Mannis O'Rain, and you're Afgar Runkles, right?
Who told you that name?
We both were on Munilist.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You're...
You two should go. You get out of here. He looks like he's got a little bit of mental anguish going on right now, and that trigger finger is really, really shaky.
It's all right, kid. We're just here to help. We can help you. We can take you away from here. We can keep you safe.
You weren't supposed to find. No one's supposed to find me. How'd you find me?
He found you.
Wait, how'd you find me?
Because this is where we would go to hide if we were still running from him.
From him?
He's dead, you know. I saw it.
His eyes go wide. Really?
Yeah. How else did we get out?
Afka takes a deep breath and puts the gun down on a table and sort of backs up against the wall and leans on it a little bit. Yeah, come in. Close the door. Nobody knows I'm here.
Mannis walks in, shuts the door after Saul walks in.
Yep.
The apartment is small and dirty, and you see the glowing blue of a computer monitor from the next room over. There are like a handful of security cameras, all looking at different angles. And Afka is like just shaking his head in the corner. He puts his hand on his head and he looks up at you. Why are you here?
There was a ambassador that was looking for us.
Us?
The name's on the list.
He looks a little confused, and he walks into his other room and goes over to his computer and starts typing.
She's dead now.
Who was it?
Mutilist ambassador Arya Saul.
I can't believe he's gone. Don't have to look over my shoulder. But,
well,
if you found me, the Dims could find me.
That's true. You should find somebody that can help protect you.
Back to Carp. Yeah, I should. Well, okay, but you didn't tell me why you're really here. Who's this guy? He points at Saul.
Oh, this is Saul. He's my partner. He currently works for the Republic Security Forces.
Oh, Republic Security Forces.
It's okay.
I don't know.
Mannis leans over and tries to whisper and says, he's easily controlled, and then winks.
Oh, he's been drinking the water.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it.
He doesn't know the truth yet.
But okay, why are you here though?
Because the ambassador's dead.
Yeah, but
and we're trying to find out who killed him.
I don't know the ambassador. It was probably the Dims. They're terrible.
Yeah, but I don't know where they are.
Oh, you don't know where they are. All right. He turns around and starts typing again on the computer. And you can see on he's got like 3 or 4 monitors, and he pulls up a big map. And it's like, all right, so we got a sighting here, we got a sighting here, we got a sighting here. The whole thing with that senator happened over here. A little Onderon. Let's see, we triangulate things. I've been tracking them for weeks. And I'm pretty sure they're actually real close to here. Kind of why I came down here. I wanted to keep a good eye on them. Didn't expect them to be able to find me or anything. And let me just check on this chat room. And yeah, there's another setting over here. He's doing all this computer stuff, and a little circle appears on the map. If we triangulate all the sightings with the incident last week and everything else, we're looking at about a 2 square mile radius from the meatpacking plant right at the entrance to the Undercity. Is that helpful? He's looking back and forth from Mannis to Sul.
Yeah.
Sul's scratching his chin. So the meatpacking plant, huh?
I mean, within 2 square miles, give or take.
That's a lot of ground to cover.
Kinda.
Yeah. True. Anyway,
But there's 2 of you, right?
that's still quite a bit.
1 square mile each.
Anyway, we could narrow it down.
If I knew more.
What else do you need to know?
Let's see. So he looks at Mannis. What can you do?
I can fix things.
No, there's more. You can do more than that, right?
I'm really good at fixing things. What? I mean, we're really good at fixing things.
Oh, is there someone else?
What Jax helps.
Where's Jax?
Where he needs to be.
I don't see him. Is he here? He looks at Sul. Is he behind you, Sul?
Nope, there's nobody behind me. Haven't seen anything, actually. I don't know really what he's talking about.
Okay. Well, I got this thing where I can sort of I get feelings off people. Like I wasn't paying attention when you were coming in, otherwise I would see that he was feeling like scared, determined, kind of professional stuff, and you were scared, determined, kind of unprofessional kind of stuff. You do anything like that?
No.
Just Jax. Okay. All right. I just wondering. I mean, I wouldn't tell anyone, but you seem to be like me, so I thought you might have something like that.
I don't know. Maybe we should
Okay.
do a little more research on this.
Okay.
What else do you know about the ambassador?
He starts typing again, and he's able to pull up some files on the ambassador, see that she was doing like humanitarian aid for the planets affected by the Clone Wars.
As he's typing, Mannis looks over and says, can you bring me that data pad? And he's pointing at a data pad sitting on a table, and it all of a sudden, that works. One light side. It floats over to him. Oh, thanks, Jax. And he starts typing on it to help out.
And Afka has a little security camera monitor in the bottom corner of his screen where that shows the room, and he like jolts over and looks at it. Was that Jax?
Well, yeah. How else did it get over here?
That's cool.
Yeah, he's good.
I wish I had a Jax.
He's very fast.
What does Sul think of this?
Sul says something like, what did I just see right there? What was that? How, who, Mannis, I'm a little confused, I'll be honest.
What are you confused about?
Well, I just saw something just floated through the air and, oh boy, I don't know.
Mannis looks right at Afka. What is he talking about?
He's talking about Jax.
Oh, yeah.
You see Jax, and
Yeah, I forgot.
the rest of us don't.
Yeah. Jax is, he likes to stay hidden.
Mm-hmm.
It's,
Jax is like us.
yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like us. And he looks at Sul.
Hidden, huh? Is it some kind of, it's some kind of computer or a magnet or something you keep hidden? Is that what you're talking about?
Sort of.
All right.
Only more, Jax just has the ability to move very quickly so people can't see him.
Say no more, kid. It's one of those computer things, I guess. It's fine.
Yeah.
As you're having that conversation, Afka, he's just looking at stuff about Arya Sul, and she was involved in a tech company that provides assistance to worlds in need, and she was trying to raise money for a company that provides humanitarian aid and gets doctors from all over the galaxy to go visit planets that have been at war and under siege It seems like she was a pretty good person. And he is... Let's see if he's able to. It's very good. He says, okay, all right. So, that senator who came after me last week, I got into his system. It looks like he's been talking to somebody, and they've been talking about machine parts and building something. This is interesting because last time I looked into it, it was all about like artifacts and stuff, and there weren't no machines or anything. And it is down here, and it is. I can narrow that search down a little bit more. So looking at that map again, that big circle radius goes down by more than half. I should have known. Water treatment facility. They've been putting stuff in the water. This guy's been drinking it.
Who, me? Do I look like I drink water?
Pretty sure that's where they are. Yeah, you. Working for the government. Yeah.
He takes a sip of some... no, he doesn't have anything he could drink out of.
He doesn't have a little flask?
I thought about adding that, but no.
So there used to be this water treatment plant down here that provided water for the local neighborhoods, but they kept growing and growing, and it couldn't keep up. So it's abandoned. Makes sense that they'd pick some place like that where they could put stuff in the water supply, control people's minds, that kind of thing. So at this point, you can tell that Afka's got some ideas. Whether they're true or not, who knows?
Mannis looks at him. So the senator found out about this?
Probably. Or maybe someone leaked the list. Who knows? I mean, they found me.
Well, the list was found on Munilist.
Yeah.
In an old warehouse on an island.
I don't want to talk about that.
I think it was the 12 of us that escaped.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about that.
Well, we don't either, but we don't have a choice. She died trying to help us. We've got to do the right thing.
Yeah, we've got to do the right thing.
We can't be afraid of him anymore. He's dead.
We got to get the rest of that list. We got to find the others.
It's 10 other names.
Yeah. I mean, if we're both here, I mean, maybe we're all here.
Maybe.
It can't be a coincidence that you and I are both here. All right, so what are we going to do?
We have to figure out who killed her and get the list.
Okay. I think that water treatment plant's our place to go.
I agree.
I don't really want to go, though.
Well, neither do I. But we have Saul.
Yeah, I can take the lead on this one.
Yeah.
Just another sting operation, no big deal. Let's head to that water treatment plant. I'll take care of everything.
I would like Sul to make a quick leadership check. Because your Gungan friend's not too happy to go along. He's had a run-in with these guys before and doesn't want to repeat.
What's the difficulty?
The difficulty is 2.
Yeah. Alright, well, I got 3 success and a threat.
Okay. I guess I'll come. But if I can stay in the speeder, I could probably help you from the outside. I'm really good at computers.
Oh, alright, that sounds good. Let's sync up our comm links. We might need some help once we're in there.
Here, hold on. He grabs your comm link. Mine's encrypted. It's hard to sync up. Let me do this. And he follows you out to the speeder. So it's a short drive to the water treatment plant. It's very dark at this point. It is probably past 1:30 in the morning, and all the streets are empty at this point. You passed by a few dwindling trash can fires, and you hear the snoring of various people from tents and alleys. You approach the water treatment plant. It looks like it's dark inside.
We should probably sneak up.
I agree. I can be pretty sneaky. Don't you worry.
You're really big.
Don't worry, kid. I've snuck up on plenty of people.
Okay, let's go.
You approach the main entrance stealthily, quietly, and don't see anybody watching. The front door is just a regular door. It looks like there was a security booth at one point, but the window is smashed in and it is vacant.
I think that's the way they broke in.
Looks like it. Unmistakable.
The front door is ajar.
Saul is he's taking cover on his way up to the door. He gets to one side of the door and kind of pushes it open with the front of his unholstered blaster.
It is an old-fashioned swingy door on hinges.
Oh, that's what I was hoping.
And yeah, it creaks as you open it. The hallway that it opens up on is very dark, and you can see pipes lining the walls and ceiling. And very, very far along, you see a blue glow.
Saul's gonna enter, and he's gonna gesture for Mannis to follow.
So with your successful leadership check earlier, do you think that Afka would follow you? I mean, you did get a threat, so he really wanted to stay in the speeder.
Well, maybe it was so successful that he's gonna follow, without us knowing.
Maybe. Okay. So you do leave Afka in the speeder, and he's got his little data pad with him. So you see from behind you there's a blue glow on the Gungan's face, and in front of you a distant glow at the end of the hallway. Now, if you want to approach that, that's going to be a stealth check.
I think that would be how Saul's going to approach it.
Okay. So you hear a little voice in your ear.
Okay.
I'd say that since you are with the Republic Security Force, you've got a little in-ear comlink, and Afka is such a good hacker that he's basically in your ear right now. And he says, "There's 7 of them. End of the hallway. Big room. Catwalk across the top of it. Bank of computers.
All right. Well, that's good to know.
7 guys." So do you want to do a group stealth check to approach the room?
Before that, Saul says, Mannis, you got a firearm on you?
Yes. And Mannis pulls out a little holdout blaster. Just this.
All right, good. As long as you got something. Because I think we're about to be in a firefight here.
All right, so for the group's stealth check, it'll be higher agility with higher stealth.
I have 1 yellow and 2 greens.
So it's agility.
Agility and stealth.
I don't have any stealth, so it's just my agility. So it's
2. Okay, so we'll go with Mannis's agility.
Okay. What's our difficulty?
I'll give you a boost because of the darkness, and you could also get a boost for knowing what's coming up. Difficulty is 2 purples and a red. Good luck with that red, since your dice don't like you.
Okay. It didn't hurt me too bad. 1 success with 3 threats.
Okay. So you approach this room at the end of the hall, and you get onto the catwalk that is above it. You see these 7 people down below. 3 of them are on 3 different computer terminals, and one of them points at what could only be a security camera feed and points at Saul's car outside. 3 of these people run out a door on the lower level, so you guys are above them, and they are below you, and 3 of them run out in the direction of your car.
Looks like your speeder was useful after all.
Well, useful, but not for Afka. Afka, come in. You got three people coming your way right now.
3? Oh, geez. Okay. I'm gonna leave the car behind. Hope that's okay.
It'll be all right.
Okay. All right. So you've got a few people left in this room. What are you gonna do?
Mannis is going to kind of hide and just observe. He's trying to figure out which one is in charge.
It's pretty easy to see. The 3 that were standing, well, there were 4 standing. 3 of them have left, and the 3 others are at the computer terminals. It looks like they're combing through data, maybe searching for something, and 1 person is standing behind them. That person has some sort of weird mechanical things on their hands. So since you're being observant, this room is a decent size. They've got theirs set up on one side, and on the other side there's a big pool full of water, and it looks like there's a turbine inside that's not going right now. There are a lot of pipes on the walls and metal banister on the catwalk. There's a staircase that goes up on the far side of the room to the catwalk that you're on.
Saul is going to slowly walk down the catwalk towards these people.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, all right, cover me, Mannis. Follow my lead. As he heads down the stairs towards them, they're all facing away from him.
Yeah, they're all looking at these monitors.
He announces to the room, all right, everybody, hands where I can see them. You're all under arrest under the suspicion of murder.
The three at the computers look up towards you. The fourth one gestures at them, just keep going. And he puts his hands up in the air. You can see that he's wearing some sort of large metal contraptions over his hands. And there are wires and like tubes, and on one of them there are like, what are those things called? Those like light bulb tube things. It's very steampunky. He puts his hands up and starts walking towards Sul. I didn't do anything wrong. He's approaching you slowly.
That's for us to decide. And stop right there. Don't come any closer.
He stops. Hey, there's nothing wrong here. Why don't you come over here and see what we're doing?
I'm comfortable right where I am, buddy.
What is Mannis doing right now?
Mannis has his holdout blaster in his hand and is just kind of standing behind Sul.
Okay, so he's visible.
Yeah.
Listen, what'd you say your name was?
I didn't say it. How about that?
Okay, well, my name's Castellan. This person is a human. They've got dark hair and a short beard. I think we can talk this out. He takes another step towards you.
What did I just say? I said stay where you are. I don't want you coming any closer to me, buddy.
I think it's time for us to roll for initiative.
All right.
I will let you decide what you are rolling. All right, so what is Sul rolling? Cool or vigilance?
Vigilance. So... So, 1 success and 3 advantage.
All right, what is Mannis rolling?
I'm going to roll cool, because I feel like this
Okay.
is a little bit of a stressful situation for him.
Yeah.
Wow. 1 success and 4 advantage.
1 success, 4 advantage. Okay. So what happens next? Sul is not expecting at all. The human who has his hands up, he sort of tenses his fingers and jolts of electricity come out of the palms of his hands. He puts his hands down towards you, and you are just racked with energy, taking 5 damage.
All right.
And he backs up a little bit towards the computers. And then you guys have the next 2 slots.
Go ahead. I think Sul would act first.
Okay, so I just got electrocuted.
Yep.
Sul he kind of goes down almost onto one knee, but not quite, and aims his heavy blaster right at this dude's hand and this like weapon that he's got.
Mm-hmm.
And he's gonna fire at it.
Okay. Chris, remind me, is there a special difficulty for...
I think it's 2 black dice if you aim at a specific spot.
So you're at short range, so it's just going to be 1 purple and then 2 black dice.
All right, I got 2 success and a threat.
Okay. All right, so what's the damage on your weapon is 7, correct?
Yep.
And you got 2 successes?
Yep.
Okay, you shoot at one of his metal hands and you hit it, and sparks fly out of it. It is still functional, but it is fairly damaged.
Okay.
Mannis, did we need to roll initiative for Jax?
No. Mannis looks at the guy with the big arms and you're probably forcing them to do what they don't want to do. And he slowly raises up his holdout blaster and fires at this guy. You said at short range, right?
It's at short range, yep.
Really? 1 success with 2 advantages.
All right, and you are
6
5?
damage. 6 damage total.
6, okay. This guy is wearing this big heavy cloak, and you hit him right in the shoulder, and his cloak starts smoking a little bit. And he steps backward a little bit, but he's not down yet. So at this point, the three people who are on computers, they push those chairs away from them, and they all run towards the tougher looking of the two of you. They run towards Sul, and I guess they're going to take strain to get their little knives out. So each of them has a little jagged knife that pops out of their sleeve, and they start going after Sul. So you've got these three people around you. One is a Duros, one is a Gran, and the last is another human.
All right.
And you're this really big, meaty guy, and you've been trained for this.
Yep.
So you see the knives coming at you, and you just swat them aside one at a time.
Yeah, he can do that easily with his... he's got two arms that are just not occupied at all.
Yeah. And now don't forget that as a basilisk, you get to take your second maneuver without taking any strain. Just so you know.
I also have a talent that lets me holster and unholster my weapon without strain, I believe.
Yeah, you have a quick draw. So it's weapon or other small item that is convenient. So we are back around at the top, and the guy with the hands, he thinks that his three minions have things taken care of. So he runs over to the computers and starts typing. He grabs a small disk and plugs it into one of the computers. And it's back around to you guys.
Go ahead, Saul.
All right. So I'm occupied with these three minions, and there's a big baddie on the computer.
He's got the same sort of view on computers as Sul, and it's going to take him a little while to get what he needs off those computers.
All right. It's just in my nature to do something like this, but Sul is going to pick up the Duros, and he raises him over his head, and he's going to throw him at the other two.
Okay. Roll a ranged light, I guess. I won't argue that you can't do that because, like, you're a big guy and you got 4 arms. So you can try it. So roll a ranged light with a setback because this guy is larger than the average thing that you would throw.
Okay. And what's my difficulty going to be?
You're still in close range, so it's still 1.
Bummer. I got a failure with 3 advantages.
Okay, so you chuck this guy, and the other 2 guys step aside. What are your 3 advantages?
The one guy that I chuck is going to crash into some kind of scaffolding nearby. And can I what's the word? He's kind of a little woozy or something, like...
Well, you definitely separated him from the rest of his group, so...
Alright, fair enough.
Will make their next roll that much worse. How about that?
Sure.
Alright, we're back around to Mannis, is that correct?
Yeah.
Mannis sees the big boss playing on the computers, and he pulls his hold up, little blaster out, and he's actually aiming at the computer.
Ooh, okay.
And he's going to fire at the computer. If you can't do what you're doing, then I'll save people.
Computer's big enough that, I don't think you get a setback for that one.
Okay. All right. Just 1 success and 1 advantage. So 6 damage to the computer.
I think that you just blow a hole in the screen of the computer. It's fried. This person turns back at you and scowls, and on his next turn he's probably coming after you.
Uh-oh.
Meanwhile, we've got some minions here that were not too upset about you throwing their friend. Wow. This time, Sul was distracted. He picked this guy up and went to throw him at his 2 buddies. They ducked around the side, and one of them was able to hit Sul with his jagged knife, dealing 5 damage, ignoring 2 soak. And the guy with the electronic hands, the modified shock gloves, very angry that you blew up his computer. He's going to come after Mannis next.
Yay.
So he runs up to, not directly on top of you, but in a place where he's not worried about hitting his own people. And is going to try and shock you.
Shouldn't be too hard.
Anytime you want to use these light side points to upgrade the roll.
Yeah, I'm not afraid to do that now. Make it more difficult for him to hit me.
You want to do that?
Yeah.
I like where a despair could go in this.
Yeah, me too.
Unfortunately, he did not roll one. You can see that they sort of charge up a little bit, and where Sul shot the one earlier, some sparks fly out. He lifts them up and turns them to face you, and light comes out of the fingertips of these gloves, dealing 7 damage to you.
Okay. Ouch.
Who wants to go next?
Maybe Mannis, you should try and defend yourself.
Yeah. Mannis is going to take aim at him and try to fire back. And I'm going to spend one of these other light side points so I can upgrade one of my dice.
Okay.
Ooh, that's better. 3 successes with 2 threats. 8 damage and 2 threats.
Alright, so this shot, you hit him where his cloak was open, and it hit him a little bit harder. He's kind of a tough-looking guy, despite his very well-manicured beard. He's hit by this shot, and it absorbs a little bit. It doesn't completely take him down. Who's up next?
That's you, Saul.
The more he gets hurt, the angrier he gets.
So Sul just took a blade to the side, and
Yeah, it was only like a glancing blow, right? Wasn't that bad.
it did pierce his armor,
Yeah.
which caused him quite a bit of pain. Whoever stabbed him, which minion was it?
It was the
Not
Grand.
Duros who threw,
Yeah.
so either the human or the...
And you, sorry, just to interrupt, you do have a soak of 4, right?
Oh, I was doing 3 because I wasn't sure if you added the extra 1.
I did not add that one. So you have a soak of 4.
Okay.
So yeah, it was the Gran with his sort of
Okay.
goat kind of head with 3 eyes, little antenna things.
Saul he does like kind of like a pratfall. He kind of bends over like he's in lots of pain, and then he kind of chuckles to himself, and he grabs the Gran by the ankles and swings him
Okay.
at the human.
Which human?
The human
Minion. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you're rolling a melee attack. I'm gonna give you 1 setback because it's a person-sized object.
I feel like it should do more damage if it lands. The attack lands.
We'll see. Roll it.
So what's the difficulty?
2 for melee.
How many light sides do we have left?
1, I think. You got 1 over there, Chris?
Yep.
Okay.
We'll save it. I got a success with an advantage.
All right. So base damage on this guy is going to be 4. Or no, 3 plus. 3 plus. What's your brawn?
3.
3. And you got 1 success. All right. One of the 2 of them is dead. Tell me what happens.
That's a shameful way to die. I'm gonna say that he swings the Gand and it knocks the human in the head. The human kind of does like a sprawling somersault and lands on the ground dead.
Mm-hmm.
And my advantage is that he lets go of this guy, 3 feet off the ground, and he's gonna go kind of sailing through the room.
It's going to go flying. Okay. The 2 of you can decide together what Afka is doing right now. He's still got his little hacking rig, so there are a lot of systems in here that he could be messing with.
Hopefully he's countering whatever they were trying to do.
Well, now that you blew up that computer, I mean, there's still 2 of them, and you can see the data is moving across them pretty quickly, but you definitely blew up the one that he was trying to get stuff out of.
Maybe he's triggering the alarm to bring in more security forces.
Sounds good.
Okay. This human slumps to the floor. As he goes down, an alarm starts going off. Red lights start twirling in various corners of the room, and the other human, the one with the beard, he looks very unhappy right now. Very angry with the 2 of you. He's just going to try and run. So he starts running towards the door that you saw those 3 people exit from earlier. The remaining 2 people in that minion group sort of try to pick themselves up. They start running after him, but they don't get quite as far.
Are we still in combat?
Yeah.
Okay.
Still got the big boss.
Yeah, he's trying to get out, but yeah, he's still around.
Alright, what do we do? Try and gun him down or tackle him?
You know what? Actually, what he does, I'm gonna change my mind just a little bit. On his way out, he turns, he charges up his gloves, and he tries to fire them at one of the computers. He's at such a distance that the electricity doesn't quite reach where he wants to go. So he's still in the room, but he's trying to get to that door as fast as he can.
All right. He's already tried to hurt Mannis a couple times, so Mannis is going to try to continue shooting him.
Okay. Go for it.
Is he still at short range?
Yeah, he's still at short range. It's not that big a room.
1 success with 3 advantages, so 6 damage. I'll say that Mannis' shot hits him in the shoulder, and he kind of spins, and it knocks him down a little bit, making it a little easier for Sul to do whatever Sul wants to do next.
Yeah, he's in that sort of position that Sul was in before. He almost took a knee, but didn't quite. Sul's up next.
Saul's just gonna pull out his heavy blaster and shoot at that guy. He's been a threat to the two of us, and he can't escape, and he needs to be held responsible for these attacks and all this stuff that's happened to them.
Okay.
So he's gonna shoot at him.
Do you want to use that last light side point to upgrade your shot?
Why not? Okay, so what happens if I think I'm rolling 2 yellow. If I upgraded that, do I add a green?
You add a green, yep.
And what's my difficulty?
It's still 1 short range. You're all still in the same smallish room.
Any advantage or disadvantage?
Nope.
Or setbacks?
I mean, you could aim.
Okay.
You have those free maneuvers, yeah.
I mean, I was assuming I was probably gonna police officers always aim extra hard. 2 hands on the gun, 1 on the bottom.
Take 2 boosts for your extra aiming.
That seems almost unnecessary.
But it's something you could do.
No such thing.
All right, he's aiming right for the chest, square on, trying to take this guy down. And he didn't do great. He had all the opportunity in the world. He got 1 success.
This is Sul, not lucky. You're supposed to do well.
I know.
So that's 8 damage. So he's not dead.
Wow.
But he's pretty well close to dead. So what did your shot look like?
The truth is that Sul doesn't really want to shoot to kill. He'd prefer to shoot to incapacitate, even though, in Coruscant sometimes he got to. So he thought he had the right shot, but he kind of hit him in the shoulder instead of square in the chest and knocked him on his back. And there's kind of some smoke coming off of his shoulder, and also where he was shot a few times earlier. He's just kind of smoldering on the ground right now.
Yeah, he's on the ground. Smoke is coming off him. He's breathing very heavily. He could probably move, but he just can't deal with the pain that he's in. You have him on the ground. What would you like to do?
Mannis just holds out his little blaster at him and says, "You're under arrest." Then he looks at Sul and kind of smiles and kind of nods at him. Right?
Sul gets to his feet, and he gives Mannis a nod and says, "Yep, this guy's under arrest. Or he's coming downtown with us. All right, pick him up. We're taking him in."
I feel like Sul would toss some binders over to Mannis.
Sul reaches into his pocket. He's got them kind of looped on his belt, and he tosses them over to Mannis. "Cuff him."
Mannis walks over and puts the binders on. "So, why'd you do it?"
So you put the binders on him, and you prop him up against the wall. And as you prop him up, you hear a crinkling from inside his cloak.
Mannis reaches inside his cloak.
And you find a piece of parchment with 11 names on it.
"I think I found the rest of the list."
Sul walks over and kind of peers over his shoulder at the list, scratching his head. "Oh, look at that."
"So why'd you kill the ambassador?"
You were his experiment. We could use you.
"Who is we?"
Us, the Dims. People like you belong with people like us. He made you for us.
I don't think you really knew him that well.
We know enough.
I think he made us for himself. We were his toys.
You'll be our toys now. Don't think this is all of us.
Mannis looks over at Sul. I think we need to find these other people and keep them safe.
I'm gonna have to agree with you there, rookie. This case goes all the way to the top, and we're gonna follow it there. You and me, kid. We'll figure this out.
And as you say that, you hear the sirens of the clone cruisers closing in on your location.
Mannis looks at the guy. How did you learn about the list?
Like I tell you.
You should. If you know what he did to us, then you know what I can do.
His eyes go a little bit wide. Somebody told us. It was that ambassador. I think Emra No, something like that. Yeah, the Chevin. Paid a good price for that info.
The Chevin. Interesting. It wasn't Ambassador Aria Sul? The Mune?
I mean, it was her list, but Chevin gave us let us know about it.
And why would she do that?
Cash. Everybody likes a good paycheck. Some of us have nice deep pockets. Don't expect me to stay in prison for very long.
With that, Mannis walks over to Sul. Well, looks like we have our new case partner.
We sure do.
And he smacks him on the lower back. Guess we have to go arrest this Chevin ambassador.
You're right about that. Saul slaps him even harder on the back and knocks him forward a little bit. Ha 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 ha. All right, kid. Here we go.
So before long, the clones arrive. So we see Afko Ronkles hiding around the corner from one of the clones because he doesn't want to be found by them. And keep wanting to call you Lucky, Doug. Sul is sitting in the back of one of the clone speeders, getting patched up. We see that the guy with the shock glove hands, now without the gloves on, being led away into the back of a clone cruiser, and they forcefully push his head down as they put him in the back seat. A few days later, it's daytime, and Mannis is standing in an office, and we see some interesting decor on the walls. It shows sort of elephant-like people with big, long faces and tusks and big, fleshy lips, doing all sorts of weird things. He's got an appointment with the Chevin ambassador, Emria No. The ambassador comes out. How could I help you?
Well, seems that your information you sold caused ambassador to get killed.
She raises an eyebrow. What do you know about it?
Enough that you need to come down to the station with us.
And as you say that, Sul walks in along with the Miri Allen and the Troig.
You're gonna have to come downtown with us. We've got some questions for you, and we're gonna need some answers. If you wouldn't mind, Miss Mary Allen, would you please read the suspect their rights and take them away?
Mannis just looks at Sul. Looks like this is a beginning of a long relationship, right, partner?
You got that right, partner. And they grasp hands, shake them, screen freezes, and cuts to darkness.
Thanks for listening to another episode of Coruscant Nights.
Thanks to Chris and Doug for playing on this episode. You can hear Chris on Redemption Podcast, and you can find Doug's art at dougceberhart.com.
Our music is by Mark Eberhart and Nick Scourin. You can find Nick's music at pro-am.bandcamp.com.
You can find us on social media at Coruscant Night on Twitter, Coruscant Nights on Instagram, and you can email us at coruscantnightspod@gmail.com.
Love the show and want to show your support? Leave us a 5-star review on iTunes or visit our Patreon.
Be sure to stop by our Patreon for bonus episodes and a whole lot more. Find us at patreon.com/Coruscant Nights. Now stay tuned for a preview of our next episode.
Well, maybe an advantage is that it actually takes us past watering hole, and I recognize one of the patrons outside who may have seen our astromech droid, and I know I can trust his opinion.
All right, so you walk past Marnix.
Mm-hmm.
You see outside a fellow Pantoran named Jeff.
Jeff. Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen him, but
Yeah,
Hello.
he's looking all right. He doesn't know these two. Hey, Ion, how's it going?
Jeff, I haven't seen you in a year at
It's
least.
been a while. What brings you down here?
Well, my apprentices and I are running an errand for one of our masters at the temple.
Oh, apprentices, huh?
Yes,
Look like a handful.
they are. Sometimes I question why I took them out of the city at this time of night.
I think I've seen this one, the Bothing, before.
Where did he see? Why would he recognize you? I think we're going to have a chat with Master Yoda when we get back to the temple.
Yeah, you might want to do that. So why are you guys down here?
Well, we're searching for a red and white astromech droid. Have you seen one rolled by? It was headed to Ajax. Arjax?
Yeah, Arjax.
Arjax.
Yeah, a couple hours ago. Yeah, it was going in that direction.
Oh. Did you see it come back?
I didn't.
So he might still be out here in the neighborhood.
It's possible. Tell me about Jeff. Jeff the Pantoran.
Jeff the Pantoran. Well, we knew each other from growing up on Pantora. The thing
Sure.
yeah. One of the planets that's typically inhabited by Pantorans. And early on, we thought we were both going to go to the Jedi Academy. But he decided that he was more interested in building ships and being a mechanic for them. In fact, he was the one who suggested years ago, he said, if you become a Jedi, you should try to fly one of the Sky Sprites.
How's that old thing holding up?
It's great. Yeah, a lot of the other Jedi are jealous of me because it's a really good model and it actually has room.
It's got that back seat.
Yeah, so I can bring these two yahoos along with me.
Yahoo! Yahoo!